If you've never engraved a tumbler before, I'm gonna give you the quickest rundown ever. I learned this online from a couple different creators, so I will leave the resources linked below that I learned with, but I'm gonna kind of show you guys my process. For engraving a tumbler, you want the object diameter, and that's gonna tell you essentially when you plug in that measurement how big your width is. And then essentially the only measurement you need to get outside of that is the length of your design. And it's so simple. So I use these calipers here and I measured the diameter, plugged it into my rotary setup on PiBurn. It gave me my circumference measurement, which I will use, which I'll make a rectangle here. And then it'll be my height measurement because it's in there sideways. And then all I have to do is measure, and I like using these kind of measuring tapes for this because they're bendy, and then I'll measure this. So it's about 237 width, and I'm measuring like pretty close to the bottom, not quite but pretty close, and that's literally it. I put in all my measurements already because I did the diameter, which gave me the circumference, and then I just had to measure the width, or the length, sorry. But yeah, now I'm gonna set up the rotary in the laser. When engraving cups like Stanley's and stuff, I opt for the 4-inch. If it's something that doesn't have tabs on it, I will use the 2-inch one. But because Stanley's have the tabs on the side, which you'll see in a minute, I like to use the 4-inch one because the engraving distance from the nozzle to the material is about 7 to 10 millimeters, which works better in my opinion. So we're gonna swap it out to the 4-inch laser head. And to line this up, I just do what the laser guys did in Calgary there. And they just line it up with the side here, and then they run it all the way across. So I can't see it, so I'll move it just like that. A bit more. There you go. There's probably a better way, but I've had really no issues with this. Okay, so now we know it's lined up properly. I know I just showed you guys how to get the measurements of the cups and put it into PiBurn just then. You want to make sure that this is set up and plugged in before you do that. I don't know if this is different on other machines, but I couldn't enable my rotary and have it save the settings without this plugged in and turned on. So just a little note there, if you get frustrated like I do, that's what happened there. So we have the rotary plugged in, we have it lined up. So now what we're gonna do is throw the cup in there and get it kind of situated for engraving. I went to the store and got one of these. It's actually not that bad. I feel like I need to replace the battery already, but this is a leveler. For the Stanley style cups, you want to put it at a 3-degree angle because of this piece here. So if it's at 3 degrees, this side of the cup is level with this side and it engraves perfectly. So that is that, 3 degrees. And I'll tighten up the motor. Make sure this bottom piece is tightened up. But you don't want to autofocus with this either, my friends. You will ruin your shit. I also line it up with this screw and this screw to make sure I'm in the middle of the cup. I learned that from the laser one, the Thunder laser YouTube. Pretty good. And then you want to go to menu, U move. This scares me because the U move is right under autofocus, which you can't use with this. So it freaks me out. And then you use the left and right arrows to adjust. So it's at a 3-degree angle. You can kind of see it. So this side is actually level with this side. And now I'm going to raise the laser bed. Just basically my rule of thumb is just so the laser can pass the tabs. Like, that's pretty close, but as long as it can clear the tabs, then I'm not worried about it hitting anything. and it'll engrave perfectly. That's kind of just my rule of thumb. I don't worry about measuring it because 9 times out of 10, it's perfect. So on Lightburn, there is a send button and a start button. For the Rotary, you need to use the send button and then operate it through the control panel. I was so frustrated when I started this because I did not know that, and I didn't realize it because no one talked about that in their videos. So you have to use the control panel on the laser to get it to run on the Rotary. If you're like me, that pissed me right off and I was about to lose my mind. So we have it loaded up and we're going to see if it rotates all good and see if it kind of like lines up. I know that this is a wrap design, so it's gonna outline, go around, and then come back, and if it's remotely close to the center of the tabs, then I know that I measured correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So it's going around, it's along the edge of the whoop. Okay, well, we didn't hit origin in the right spot, so prime example as to why you check your settings. So my job origin was set to the bottom left, and for this one specifically, we're gonna set it to the bottom right because I want the seam to be under the handle. So if there's any error that I didn't catch, it'll be under the handle and it won't be as noticeable. For some jobs, I will set my origin to the middle right. It just depends on the job I'm doing. But for this one specifically, because it's a Stanley with the tabs, I will line it up with the tabs and then set my user job origin to the bottom right on Lightburn. I'll send it to the laser, redo the whatchamacallit, framing, and see if it lines up better. This video is all over the place. I just decided this morning when I woke up I really wanted to film this. So if you want an actual laid out in-depth one that isn't so ADHD, let me know and I'll plan it out and actually like make something for you guys. But I loaded it in here. We're gonna hit enter, we're gonna hit file, enter. Once it's loaded here, we'll hit frame and you guys will see what I'm talking about because it'll like go whoosh, do a loop around, and then it'll come back with the tabs. So I'll hit frame. It'll do a circle and end right back at the tabs, which is what I want. Sweet. So now I'm gonna hit go, and it's gonna be about 40 minutes for this wrap design because it is a full wrap, full design. So I'll catch you guys when it is done. Save you guys the pain from watching me clean the cup because I was out of focus the whole time. But this is the final cup. I think it looks pretty dang good. I did make a pit stop to the store, to the dollar store. I picked this up, LA Awesome. I've heard nothing but raves about it for cleaning cups, so I'm gonna try it for my next one. I've been using just dish soap and a magic eraser, and I think sometimes cups need a little bit more oomph than that. But overall, I think this cup turned out good. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, comment below. If you want a cup of your own that's engraved, let me know. I have like 50 of them. So yeah, let me know. That's it. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.